Thank you so much for being on here, Saravanan. Do you want to maybe introduce yourself?
Sure, Rick, definitely. So my name is Saravanan Ganesh. I'm based out of West Bloomfield, Michigan. I have an SEO agency that I run here, a digital marketing agency, and then I have my own rank and rent strategy SEO course that I kind of beta tested and launched it, but I'm looking for a bigger launch. And so that's where I am. That's who I am.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And so maybe you could explain a little bit about, what made you decide to go into YouTube ads. I know you were looking at a few different things. What made you choose us with YouTube advertising?
Sure. So I always knew video is the big thing in, video converts a lot more. I haven't done any paid ads so far. I was able to grow my my online course on my free group to a pretty decent level. And I know it was time. I got a lot of feedback. I tweaked it. I knew it was time to launch it on a higher scale. So I kind of started looking into who is the best person to go ahead and start with launching a course. And I looked into everybody. I mean, I've been in the online space for about 5 years now. So I looked into and did some good research, and a lot of courses out there which teaches how to launch a course, an online course. So I looked into Sam Owen's course. I even had a one-on-one with one of his persons. I looked into Dan Henry's new online course. I had a one-on-one with Dan Henry's course. I looked into Joel, for his last name, who does the webinars. You name it, and I've looked into it, and I've even had one-on-one conversations because I knew I had to make an investment and make a payment and do this. But I also want to make sure I zero in on the right person. And not to put anybody else down, they probably have good courses. But when I talked to you, one of the first things I loved about it was that this is not just a video course where I go through the videos and I do it myself. This was a one-on-one. We work together along with the videos, and I love that because I'm new to video. I'm new to paid ads. And if I'm going to invest a considerable sum, I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. And there's a mentor who can say, oh, don't do that, do this. And that kind of what made me lean towards you. And I'm glad I jumped in. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Saravanan. I appreciate that. And I would love to maybe hear a little bit more about, because you mentioned the benefit to having somebody help you and also have the trainings at the same time, kind of that hybrid that we have, the done together, done with you hybrid. Maybe you could talk a little bit more about that, because I know that was so important for you in finding who to work with and what program to join.
Yeah, absolutely. So in my own course, a SEO course, that's my model. I have a course, a lot of videos, but then I have the one-on-one coaching. And I've seen that in the 1 hour you spend with somebody who's an expert, you could have such a great breakthrough. You could just go literally break down decades into days, like Tony Robbins says. And I love that. So for example, a simple thing like buying a gimbal, right? And I have it here, it's out of camera. I knew I had to shoot a video. I didn't know the first thing about shooting a video. So when you talk through, do this, here's the link in Amazon.com to buy it, right? Stuff like that helped me so much. And then when I went through the few modules and we had a first one-on-one on writing out the script for my ad, that was mind-blowing, man. You, me, and Phil, in that 1 hour, I think we made so much progress than me just sitting by myself for weeks in time, just by you and I and masterminding, I would say, I learned so much from that 1 hour. And then of course, tweaking, over that period of time was really awesome. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm really proud of the script that we came up with. And obviously it was, all of us in that room together, also with James, our in-house copywriter as well, getting everything written for your video ad. Yeah. And one thing I would love is maybe you can describe the experience, because we do things a little bit differently. Instead of, having you just write it or just having our copywriter write it, we actually do it together. Maybe you could explain kind of what that experience was like and how that was beneficial.
Yeah. First of all, the video script, sorry, the questionnaire that you had, that was really awesome because that made me think it out, right? I know my stuff, but then putting it on paper, spelling it out in detail so that the prospective customer understands it, that's a whole different thing. So just going over your questionnaire and answering those questions, that itself was I was learning, right? Made me think. And then when we had it on paper, somebody like you or Phil coming in, and for you, my course is new to you. So you asking questions, picking it out, and figuring out things that were cloudy and hazy, and then spelling that out more in detail. And then some of the hooks we came up with, that was really mind-blowing. I was really excited that day, right? As a matter of fact, once I wrote that down, I was so excited. I talked to a friend of mine who does a little bit of Facebook ads, and he was like, he wanted to run Facebook ads for me using that hook. So we ran like a $100 Facebook ad just with that script, and we got like 112 opt-ins for a free ebook. I mean, it was just random, right? That's how powerful the writing was. And so based off of that, now my mind started thinking, oh my God, if we could target this segment of people using this hook, and then this segment of people using this hook, and it was really awesome. I mean, I love the process. Yeah.
Excellent. And thank you. And maybe we could talk a little bit about some of the trainings as well, because obviously a big part of this is also helping, you know, each step of the way, but also the trainings as well. And you've had some of, you know, experience kind of going through that and taking a look at the different videos. Maybe you could describe kind of what you have seen there. Obviously, we're constantly updating. Like, maybe you could describe a little bit of how valuable that is to you.
Sure. So I've probably done halfway, to be honest. I haven't done into launching the ad and optimizing and all that. But for a newbie to YouTube videos like me, sorry, I got a sore throat. Just the basic of the different kinds of YouTube ads or videos out there, and then how to go about, you know, planning for each of those. And then you have a section on just the basics, like, you know, what do you need to do, the green screen, the gimbal, you know, like little things that if I were to do it by myself would take so much weeks and it wouldn't be organized. You had it also organized, right? And then you had one whole module all about like your students and what their ad was, and that opened my mind as to, oh, okay, I could try this method or that method, or he did this and he got this results. So it was also beautifully planned out, because I love it when somebody did something and 17x'd their ad spend. I mean, I should try that, right? So it gave me an awesome thing. And then you keep adding those, like I think 2-3 weeks ago, you added this whole new, using a credit card for travel. We travel a lot, and that's opened my eyes, because now I can travel for free, right? I mean, this is crazy. I mean, I haven't even started going into the meat of the course on the YouTube and launching those ads and optimizing it. I haven't even started there. I'm just eager to get into that.
Excellent, excellent. Now, obviously, you're in the process of getting the video produced and stuff like that, and everything. And maybe you could talk a little bit about how that process works, because obviously you're kind of in the process right now, and you're getting to that point where obviously you've had all this experience, like getting the videos all set up, making sure that your offer is all built out, you have the course ready to go. Maybe you could talk about, you know, the help that we have with our team, not just myself, but also Phil, James, Julia, like our whole team that we have, and we're always adding to it as well, like what we've been able to help you out with.
Yeah, I mean, the help was really awesome. Like, as an entrepreneur, right, we have so many different directions we are pulled in. And to be honest, there was a couple of weeks that I didn't do anything. We wrote down the script and all that, like you, me, and Phil, and I was excited. And then next 2 weeks, I was pulled into different directions and I didn't do it. And I get an email from Phil saying, hey, Saravanan, okay, where are you on this? Do you need any help? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I need to get this thing done. And then I go and record a video, and it's the first time I'm recording myself, you know, for an ad, for a video. And I reply to Phil saying, I don't know if this is good. And he comes back saying, don't worry about it. It's the first one. It's not how you do it. It's, you know, what you say in it. It's the passion there. It kind of helped me, you know, kind of reiterate the fact that I actually replied to Phil saying, thank you for reaching out to me, because if it was somebody else, they wouldn't care. You got my money, you know, you wouldn't care if I launched it or not. But here you're following up on me, and I needed that, because I got my family, I got my life, I got my business, and on top of that, I'm learning this skill and want to launch my course. And then I can get kind of sidestepped or, you know, like stuck in one spot. And that's when you and Phil and Julia, you guys, I think I would have got at least 3 different emails from Phil saying, okay, what are you? Do you need my help? Can I jump on this call, a Monday call right now? We can review, you know. And that made me go out and again and record my second video. I started getting more comfortable, you know, stuff like that. It was really, really helpful, definitely.
Absolutely, absolutely. Exactly. And it's really all about having somebody to help you each step of the process, make sure that you're taking those steps. And I know this is also something that you mentioned too, is kind of you're new to some of the video side of things and the paid traffic side. Obviously, you're very skilled in SEO and, you know, actually buying those domains and helping other people earn passive income online. But in terms of the paid traffic and in terms of the videos, you were kind of new. And so there might be somebody watching this video right now who's in the same spot, right? They're like, you know, I'm new. I don't know exactly how to do all of this. how have you felt as somebody, you know, who is kind of entering this new world of YouTube ads and video advertising, and having us help you each step of the way? How have you felt experiencing that?
Yeah. There's two different things, right, when it comes to learning anything new, especially in the online marketing, right? Especially when it comes to paid ads, and then YouTube is the new up and coming, like nobody's really discovered it fully in the online paid ad space. And there are quite a few courses out there. I've looked into Billie Jean's courses. I've looked into Sam Owens. I've looked into Dan Henry. I've looked into so many of these people. I even bought one big guru's course, and it was really so overwhelming, right? It was so much of content. I had no way to go through all of that, and they didn't have the one-on-one thing. And that's the second time is when I restarted you, and I love that. One of the first things I loved about your program is that this is so concise. There is no cat videos in your course that just to fill up the fluff. It's just meat and potatoes, right? I love it. So you go through the first step, this is what you do. You go to the second step, this is what you do, right? If you're stuck, we got a one-on-one call where we can go over with you and you can say, oh, okay, this is how you do the script. You don't get stuck. We got our Monday and Thursday calls. So it's not too much information, because you could go and just have an overload of information. I bought so many courses over the years where they have videos and videos of videos and modules that you're like, oh my God, right? This is just enough to do what you need to do, launch your ad and make a return of investment. And then couple that with your one-on-one, it is unbelievable. I almost feel like you should not be advertising yourself. We shouldn't, other people should not know you. I should, it's almost like that. I honestly, I'm not saying it because, I'm giving a testimony here. Honestly, goodness, I buy tens of thousands of dollars of courses. Honestly, you're probably the top one or two I've bought really in the last 5 years. It's amazing, seriously. My mind is spinning. I want to launch this ad for my course, but then I got so many other ideas that I can launch, or YouTube ads and make my return of investment, things like that, and scale it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Saravanan. It really does. It does mean a lot, and it's great, obviously, having you in here as well. And it's awesome to see you succeed at each step of the way. And so just a couple of quick questions, just kind of, expand on some of the stuff that you talked about. Obviously, you summed up a lot of it really well, and I really appreciate that. Maybe you could talk a little bit about what those call experiences have been like. You talked about kind of the one-on-one calls. You also talked about the script writing call and the group coaching calls, which we have, the Mondays and Thursdays, where we dive into everybody and kind of go through that environment. Maybe you could talk a little bit about the different types of calls that we have and how that plays into it. Because I know that there's some programs that just have, group calls, and maybe they're not even as often, or just have one-on-one, or don't have any at all. So maybe you could talk about the different types of calls and how that's helped you.
Absolutely. Yeah, so the first thing I loved about your program was that, so we buy your course, you give us, the 8 or 10, the 6 or 8 or 10 modules there, and then you say, okay, go through the first 2 modules, fill out this worksheet, and then we'll have a one-on-one call. And so that kind of gave me an enough introduction and my first to-do thing. And then I'm still new to this program. So I'm like, okay, I understand this, I did this, but am I still on the right path? And that's when the one-on-one came. And the one-on-one, honestly, coming into the one-on-one, I thought you would just go over my answers and say, yeah. But when you and Phil dissected my answers and then turned those into the hooks that we needed for the ad, and then the story, I don't want to go into your whole course, but when you prepared all those, and not just one, we came up with 6 different, it was awesome. I loved that, right? 6 different hooks and the way we can target the different audiences and all that. In that 1 hour call we had one-on-one, all of our, it was like a mastermind coming together, right? Napoleon Hill says it's a mastermind. I just really thought about that, where we started thinking and just coming up with the ideas, right? And then that was a one-on-one call. It's priceless, because just learning a little bit and then doing something and then having a one-on-one to make sure we have the right path, that's priceless. Then the group coaching calls, though I'm not ready with my own ad, I jumped into a couple of the group coaching calls, and then I saw other people and their ads and how you were critiquing them, and little things like you were saying, hey, the script looks awesome, but maybe the lighting a little bit here could be better, more professional. Maybe a pop-up of the screenshots of your just case studies would, little things like that gave me ideas, because now I'm preparing my what's going to pop up for me, like my case study, my results, my income, things like that. That was priceless. Just going through those, the way you were critiquing your other students' videos and all that, right? And like I said, I haven't even come into optimizing or starting the ad, optimizing it. I'm just eager to jump into that. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. And so somebody might be watching this video right now and they're still not sure, right? So they might be scrolling through, you know, these testimonials or watching these videos. What would you say to the person that's either not sure they should go with us or with YouTube ads or, you know, this program in general? What would you say to that person watching this video?
If they're looking to scale, you know, the course or anything and use paid ads, I mean, I've always known paid ads, we have to have paid ads. If you know the right recipe where you put in $1 and get back at least $2, who wouldn't want to get into it, right? Me coming from an organic SEO background, I never dabbled into it for the longest time. I dabbled, I lost money. I dabbled, I lost money. And that's when I thought, you know, I finally found you. What I would recommend them to do is just go to the case studies page and see all those case study after case study after case study where they, like when you told me, my first ad, we will go over it together, make sure you at least get a 2x return on investment. And that's like I know I have your back. Now I can go forth, make some mistakes because I know I have your back kind of a thing. You don't get that with other courses out there, right? And then 2x seems to be nothing to you because your case studies, if I go like 5x, 10x, and 17x, and 22x and stuff like that. But more, even if you don't 2x, if you don't 2x your ad spend, the skill that you learn from a mentor who's an expert in this, that skill, that will be priceless. Because once you learn that skills, you can use YouTube videos for YouTube ad, you can use the same videos for Facebook ad, you can do so many different things, right? Just putting an ad together with the script that you give us and the way you want to do to kind of get the person's the attention, that is priceless to me because you can use the same thing offline too without a video. I mean, there's so many amazing things. I would just tell them, close their eyes. It is an investment of money, but then if you only get what you paid for. If you get something for free, most likely it's going to be worth that much what you paid for, right? I would definitely say just go for it. They're absolutely going to see a return on investment for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Saravanan. And the last thing I'd like is any other, thoughts or comments that you have, maybe an overview of the program, what you've experienced up until this point, any last things you'd like to share with anybody who's watching?
Well, only thing I would say is, if they can find your one case study page, I actually went to where you have all the different videos of testimonies. I've listened to each one of those students on their videos at least two times. And then you'd be surprised how much you can learn from what they say because you're actually dissecting their business and they're talking about what they're learning. And that itself is a learning. You learn a lot, right? I would say if anybody has any questions at all, just go to that one page that you have with all the testimonies and watch all the videos of what other people have done in so many different niches, from courses to e-commerce to selling pots and pans to all kinds of people out there using YouTube ads and your help to scale their business. You will learn a ton just from that. And if that doesn't get your confidence up on jumping into this, I don't know what will, to be honest.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Saravanan. I really appreciate you hopping on here. Thank you.
Anytime. Yep. Thank you so much.